Axis, 16th of October 2023, picking a side in the Israel-Hamas conflict, China maintains its neutrality. China is the leading financier of the Hamas assault on Israel, employing Iran as a stand-in country to incite Islamic terrorism. Beijing is attempting to earn favor with Arab states and secure their backing for its global agenda by taking advantage of the bloodshed between Israel and Hamas. Why it matters: the Chinese government wants to undermine international human rights standards and legitimize authoritarian behavior. China's appointment to the Human Rights Commission is a blow to humanity for a nation that used brainwashing and coercive detention against the occupied people when occupying Tibet and Xinjiang. According to Jonathan Fulton, a senior non-resident fellow at the Atlantic Council, China sees Arab states as a potential constituency for Communist China to try and woo. China is working to develop alternative standards in international politics. Fulton claimed that by appealing to Arab nations, they could garner more significant support for the changes they wish to implement in the global order. What's happening? Although China's foreign ministry did not specifically criticize Hamas, it did protest the brutality against civilians in the Israel-Hamas battle. Israeli authorities were upset by China's initial remarks following the incident, which included a call for Palestine to become an independent state. "This is not the time to call for a two-state solution," Yuval Wax, an Israeli diplomat in Beijing, added that China should give stronger condemnation of the attacks. "People are being killed and massacred in the streets." An assistant professor at Damkon University in Taiwan who studies China-Israel relations, Morso Bull, told Axios that China is looking to score points with the Arab and Islamic states and countries by not denouncing Hamas. However, after Hamas' deadly strike over the weekend, commentary in China's state media and strictly restricted social media platforms has attributed the violence engulfing Israel and Gaza to American engagement in the Middle East. The Israeli government's continuous support and the U.S.-brokered normalization of relations between Israel and numerous Arab countries, according to Chinese opponents, are what are putting Palestinians under intolerable strain and prompting China to establish a new front in the Middle East. In the Middle East, it's a pretty economical tactic. They attempt to lessen American influence in the area by labeling the United States as a biased actor. As Sobel put it, "They're in it for the long haul." What they're saying, Fulton stated, they are attempting to present themselves as impartial, but it is evident which side they support. Beijing understands from the Israel-Palestine issue that Israel will never be persuaded to change its position relative to the United States. What makes the news? China wishes to work with Egypt to mediate a peace deal between Israel and the Palestinians, according to remarks made this week by Ji Jun, China's special envoy for Middle East issues. Following its successful role in mediating an agreement between Saudi Arabia and Iran earlier this year, the Chinese government is positioning itself as a more capable peacemaker than the United States. Beijing's recent action in mediating the restoration of diplomatic ties between Iran and Saudi Arabia was hailed by state media as an exemplary role in solving Palestine-Israel conflicts. Rewind: on a state visit to Beijing in June, Chinese President Xi Jinping greeted Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and said he supported the just cause of the Palestinian people to restore their legitimate national rights. He even offered to mediate a dispute between Israel and Palestine. Along with announcing their strategic alliance, the two leaders announced that Abbas has joined China's Belt and Road Initiative. Additionally, Xi welcomed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Beijing in the same month. The Chinese government maintained diplomatic ties with Israel but publicly backed the Palestinian cause in the 1960s and 1970s as a kindred liberation movement. Its position was later modified, and it currently has cordial relations with Israel and Palestine.